For what feels like an eternity, the WNBA has been the subject of relentless mockery and criticism.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the WNBA just because it's not good.
As a die-hard NBA fan, I've witnessed it all. From jabs about their sparsely attended championship parades, to playful derision about their MVP trophies, which some claim look like they were purchased from a discount store. The humor often circles around the league's challenges, such as the quip about having 2 WNBA tickets in your car until someone stole your car, and now you have 4 WNBA tickets. This ongoing ridicule has contributed to the WNBA's image as a league struggling to live up to its potential. The WNBA's challenges are multifaceted. The league has faced issues ranging from financial instability and lower viewership compared to the NBA, to struggles with player salaries and recognition. While the NBA is a global powerhouse, the WNBA has often been relegated to the sidelines in sports conversations. This disparity in status has been a source of both jest and genuine concern for the league's future. Yet, recently, there's been a significant shift. The WNBA made headlines this week with the announcement of an expansion, introducing 2 new franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C.
The WNBA officials expanded to 10 teams this week, adding franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C. But before you get too excited about the new additions to the league, remember, all of the players are still women.
This brings the total number of teams to 10, marking an exciting new chapter for the league. The expansion reflects a positive step towards broadening the league's reach and improving its visibility. However, it's crucial to note that this expansion still involves teams composed entirely of women players, which might be a sticking point for some, given the league's historical struggles with viewership and financial performance. My own engagement with the WNBA has been sporadic, with my most notable memory being the high-profile trade involving Brittany Griner and the so-called Merchant of Death. This trade was so outlandish it seemed almost darkly comedic, underscoring the WNBA's tendency to remain a niche topic even among dedicated basketball fans like myself. The trade was emblematic of the league's struggles to gain mainstream attention and highlight its most significant moments.
Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
However, a fresh wave of interest has arrived in the form of Caitlin Clark, the University of Iowa star who has become a household name. Her rise has been so impactful that even during the 2024 NBA Finals, her name was making waves. For someone deeply passionate about basketball, it's impossible to ignore the excitement surrounding her. Clark's presence in the spotlight represents a beacon of hope for the WNBA and could signal a new era of increased visibility and interest in the league. After diving into Caitlin Clark's interviews, games, and articles, it's evident why she's creating such a stir. Her shooting skills are nothing short of extraordinary, and her game is filled with remarkable facets. People are drawing comparisons between her and basketball legends, like Steph Curry and Pistol Pete Maravich. Even before Caitlin Clark set foot on a WNBA court, her name was already being mentioned in the same breath as these icons. Her presence is a game changer for the league, and it's not an overstatement to say she could become one of the most influential players the WNBA has ever seen. Clark's style of play is a significant part of her allure. Her shooting range, ball handling skills, and court vision set her apart from her peers. The comparisons to Steph Curry are particularly apt, given Clark's ability to shoot from deep and create scoring opportunities from virtually anywhere on the court. Her approach to the game is not only exciting to watch, but also indicative of a new direction for women's basketball. In a league that has struggled financially since its inception, Caitlin Clark represents a rare opportunity to attract new fans and fill arenas, potentially boosting revenue.
You just really 17,000 people at the game yesterday, bro.
And listen,
at 10:30 in the morning.
God damn. Matinee.
Clark's arrival has already had a tangible impact on game attendance and fan engagement, highlighting her potential to drive the league's growth. Clark's impact is reminiscent of Ronda Rousey's influence on women's MMA. Rousey brought unprecedented attention to her sport when it was still relatively niche. Similarly, Caitlin Clark has the potential to bring a new level of excitement and recognition to the WNBA. The league should be celebrating Caitlin Clark's arrival, as she has the potential to significantly enhance its profile. Instead, it appears the league might be undermining her. This raises the crucial question: why is the WNBA seemingly attacking their brightest star, who could potentially revolutionize their sport? This video will delve into this controversy and seek to uncover the reasons behind Caitlin Clark's opposition. Her future in the game is incredibly promising, and she is on track to become one of the best players ever to compete. To understand the friction within the WNBA, it's essential to grasp the league's unique culture. Around 7 years ago, a former WNBA champion and high lottery pick spoke out about being bullied within the league due to her sexual orientation and popularity. She revealed that she wanted to continue playing for 2 more seasons, but could no longer endure the toxic environment. While many WNBA players dismissed her claims, suggesting her experience was more personal than systemic, her account gains credibility when considered alongside other stories. For instance, when Luka Doncic created a seemingly harmless video to support the WNBA,
"What's up, Ricky? I know you're having a great season, so just keep pushing. I know you're going to be the rookie of the year, so best of luck to you."
the Minnesota Lynx harshly criticized him on Twitter, accusing him of recording a scripted message without actually attending games. This response highlights a pattern of defensiveness and a lack of gratitude within the league. The negative reaction to Doncic's supportive gesture suggests a broader issue of internal discord and a difficulty in accepting external validation or assistance. Moreover, the WNBA has frequently voiced complaints about pay disparity, arguing that they deserve higher salaries simply because NBA players earn substantial amounts. While they have insisted that they're not seeking equal pay, their requests often come across as entitled.
We are not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Got it.
This approach can be seen as counterproductive, particularly when addressing potential fans and sponsors. The league's insistence on comparing itself to the NBA, rather than focusing on its unique value proposition, might be alienating rather than attracting support. These stories paint a picture of a league grappling with internal issues, potentially undermining its own growth. The way Caitlin Clark is being treated may reflect broader problems within the WNBA's culture. The league has often advocated for pay based on a percentage of revenue shared rather than direct comparisons to NBA salaries, reflecting a culture that can be passive-aggressive and toxic, as described by Candace Wiggins. Candace Wiggins, a former player, shed light on some of the underlying issues within the league, including a culture of negativity and exclusion. Her observations have sparked debates about the WNBA's internal dynamics and its impact on players. Wiggins' experiences suggest that the league's culture might be stifling rather than fostering the growth of its talent. So, how does this relate to Caitlin Clark? The league's recent actions have exposed its true colors in handling this rising star. Caitlin Clark has been deeply dedicated to basketball from a young age. She even created a dream board in 2nd grade with the goal of playing in the WNBA. Her passion and emotional play are evident, and her father helps keep her grounded whenever she steps out of line, such as when she argues with officials. Like Steph Curry, Clark says all the right things and serves as a fantastic ambassador for the sport. Yet, instead of celebrating her achievements, the WNBA seems to be turning against her. When Candace Wiggins first spoke about the toxic environment in the WNBA, many players dismissed her claims, suggesting her experience was isolated. However, Caitlin Clark's treatment suggests that Wiggins' observations were more accurate than previously thought. Since Clark became the biggest star in women's basketball, some WNBA legends have tried to downplay her achievements. For example, when asked whether she would choose Paige Bueckers, the #1 pick this year, over Caitlin Clark, Diana Taurasi, widely regarded as the greatest player in WNBA history, unequivocally said she would pick Bueckers.
I'm taking Paige. Next question.
So you get the #1 pick this year, you would take Paige over Caitlin?
Absolutely.
Taurasi, a staunch advocate for the league and fair pay, could have used her platform to support Clark, but instead appeared dismissive. For instance, when Caitlin Clark was excluded from the Team USA roster, Taurasi commented that making the team at 20 years old is challenging. When reminded that Taurasi herself made the roster at that age, her response was dismissive and reflected a certain smugness.
Because you were young yourself, and tell me if I'm wrong, weren't you named to the roster as soon as you graduated, right? You were young.
Yeah, after I won 3 national championships in a row, I was named.
Jeez. So how did you deal with that? I mean, I know Caitlin's on a...
Taurasi's dismissive attitude towards Clark is particularly troubling given her stature within the league. As one of the most decorated players in WNBA history, Taurasi's opinions carry significant weight. Her apparent reluctance to support Clark could be seen as a reflection of broader issues within the league. Instead of embracing Clark's success, Taurasi's comments suggest a potential undercurrent of jealousy or resistance to change. This dismissive attitude is troubling, especially given the WNBA's ongoing financial struggles, largely mitigated by the NBA's annual subsidy of $15 million. Given Clark's potential to boost the league's revenue and visibility, it's surprising and disheartening to see such resistance from established players like Taurasi. The league's behavior towards Clark underscores a deeper issue within its culture, which may be impeding its growth and success. Consider this. In the first 7 games of the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever, who drafted Caitlin Clark, have already seen more attendance than in the previous 2 seasons combined. Just as Michael Jordan revolutionized the NBA by boosting viewership, revenue, and the league's profile, Caitlin Clark appears to have that same transformative potential. Even before she was drafted, an arena was modified to accommodate more fans, highlighting the immense excitement surrounding her. Yet, instead of being her biggest supporter, Diana Taurasi, the GOAT of women's basketball, has taken on the role of her greatest critic.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you know, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
There are different levels to this situation, reflecting a broader reality in sports. Just as in the NBA, where younger players face seasoned veterans, Caitlin Clark, despite her superhuman performance against younger competitors, will be tested by experienced professionals. Diana Taurasi seems to be positioning herself to elevate her own legacy while attempting to diminish Caitlin's potential. A fan's comment captures this sentiment perfectly. The reason I know who Diana Taurasi is because of Caitlin Clark. Why is Diana Taurasi reacting this way? It's likely rooted in jealousy. Caitlin Clark signed a Nike shoe deal before even stepping onto a WNBA court. And this deal has already earned more than what Diana Taurasi made throughout her entire WNBA career. Despite Taurasi being hailed as the greatest of all time, Caitlin Clark is making a significant impact in a fraction of the time.
It's been 20 years, right? The needle ain't been moved.
It hasn't.
It's been 20 years, and Taurasi hasn't moved the needle as much as Clark is already doing. The link between Diana's attitude and the physical confrontations Caitlin Clark has faced in the league is significant. Influential figures like Diana Taurasi set the tone, and her dismissive stance seems to be trickling down through the WNBA. For instance, Taurasi's open disdain for Clark has been noted by WNBA players who have mirrored her sentiments.
It's funny that this is a lot of people's first time seeing Diana talk.
Yeah.
So they're like, she's a hater, but no, this is, that's DT cool as hell.
When Taurasi criticized Caitlin Clark's style and presence on TV, some players echoed her negativity, suggesting that Clark's style, characterized by her prolific three-point shooting and aggressive play, isn't welcomed or respected by all.
I'm talking about in college. Who plays the style that how Caitlin
What is the
plays?
Style? Just threes?
Wow. It's not just threes.
What is her style?
The style. Who plays like Caitlin's what I'm saying from a female. Who do you think plays like her? haven't seen a female play like her.
No, me either.
That's all I'm saying.
But I think it's like from a freedom standpoint too. I haven't seen a player with that type of green light before in college.
Like that.
I've had games in college and pro, 6, 7, 8 threes made. out of 12, 11, 13, not 20. Like,
The reaction indicates that Taurasi's attitude might be influencing others in the league. Clark's unique playing style, including her ability to make 23s in a game, stands out and hasn't been seen in female college basketball before. Despite this, the resistance from established players like Taurasi suggests a deeper issue within the league. To dismiss Caitlin Clark by saying her only advantage is her three-point shooting, or that she's only successful due to her unrestricted shooting opportunities, is akin to claiming Steph Curry owes all his success to those same factors. The sentiment among basketball fans is clear. Women holding women back is a genuine issue, and Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA as much as the WNBA needs her. Before Caitlin was even drafted, there were already criticisms, but once she stepped onto the WNBA court, the attacks intensified. In her first few games, I've rarely seen such aggressive and personal abuse directed at a rookie. Look at the rough hits she's taken to her face and head while driving to the basket. Even worse, watch how some players have cursed at her and knocked her down without the ball. It's only a matter of time before she suffers a serious injury, which could set the WNBA back significantly. In all my years of watching the NBA, I haven't seen this kind of hostility toward a rookie. Lonzo Ball faced some backlash due to his father's hype, but the physical confrontations were relatively minor compared to what Caitlin is enduring. The hostility she faces feels intensely personal and is escalating each week. Whether it's jealousy or toxicity, the WNBA's darker side has been exposed with Caitlin Clark, and we're about to see how this story unfolds. Will the WNBA squander the chance Caitlin Clark represents? Or will she overcome the league's hostility and elevate it like Michael Jordan did for the NBA in the 1990s? We'll find out soon. Meanwhile, did you know that 18 former NBA players are heading to prison, some of whom aren't even NBA champions? I've researched the whole story, so if you're curious, check out this video for more details.